Close your eyes. Take a slow, deliberate breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your body, like a tide that cleanses, restores, and prepares you. You are here, in this exact moment, standing at the threshold of your own mind, ready to enter a space where prosperity is not an impossible dream, but a living frequency that already belongs to you. Tonight, you will not be hearing random words. What you're about to hear is a message designed to reach the deepest part of you, the part that never sleeps, that listens even in silence, that continues creating long after your body has drifted into rest. This quiet inner realm, the one many call the subconscious, is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the invisible garden, where your thoughts take root, where your emotions take shape, and where your results are born. Napoleon Hill, one of the greatest explorers of the mind, taught that every thought infused with emotion turns into a magnetic force. That force moves through the universe, drawing people, opportunities, ideas, and paths toward you. Slowly at times, but always with certainty, constructing the blueprint of your destiny. While you sleep, your mind continues working. It does not distinguish between what you live and what you vividly imagine. And that is why tonight, you will learn to plant seeds of abundance and wealth inside that fertile, ever-awake inner world. Your prosperity does not begin tomorrow. It begins now. In the very moment you decide you deserve more, that your life is allowed to expand, and that nothing and no one can keep you from aligning with the infinite flow of creation. Chapter 1. The Secret of the Mind That Never Sleeps. The human mind is a riddle few have truly learned to command. By day we think, feel, react, and choose, but when night falls, when the body rests, and the noise of the outside world dissolves, the real work begins. It is in that sacred silence that the subconscious awakens fully, unburdened by fear, free from resistance, untouched by the limits of logic. Deep within that invisible realm lies the factory of all prosperity, the birthplace of every transformation, the origin point of every future you will ever live. The subconscious never sleeps. While your body drifts into dreams, this silent inner architect continues shaping your destiny, carrying out the instructions you whispered to it all day long. Those instructions are not spoken in words. They are formed by your dominant thoughts, your emotionally charged beliefs, and the quiet convictions you hold as truth. Everything you accept with feeling becomes a command your inner mind executes without hesitation. Napoleon Hill understood this better than most. He observed that the world's most prosperous individuals were not merely skilled or hard-working. They had mastered the art of programming the subconscious. They fed it clear images, feelings of triumph, affirmations, saturated with unwavering faith. Hill discovered that once the inner mind absorbs a thought infused with intense emotion, that thought becomes a magnetic force. It draws to you the people, resources, and circumstances needed to make that inner picture real. To the subconscious, there is no difference between the imagined and the lived. Anything you envision with emotion is received as fact. This is why the moments before sleep are so powerful. If you drift into the night thinking of lack, fear, or frustration, your subconscious accepts those impressions and multiplies them. But if you close your eyes with images of abundance, success, and well-being, that same mind begins constructing those realities for you. Night is not merely rest. It is a portal. What you plant in your mind before sleep is what you will eventually harvest. Think of your mind as a vast garden. Throughout the day, you toss seeds, thoughts, words, emotions, without noticing what you're planting. But at night the soil opens, and everything you dropped into it begins to grow. Fear grows fear. Faith grows faith. Images of wealth return as experiences of wealth. This is why Hill called the process autosuggestion, the deliberate repetition of constructive thoughts until the subconscious accepts them as truth. It is the training of faith, a nightly ritual of sowing ideas that eventually harden into beliefs and unfold as life. Each night, as your eyes close, your mind should become a sanctuary, Every thought should feel like a silent prayer, spoken to the creative power within you. Your subconscious is loyal. It does not judge your instructions. If you affirm, "I never have enough," it will arrange your life to confirm it. If you declare, "Money flows to me with ease," it begins reorganizing your world to match that frequency. The universe does not respond to empty words, but to the emotional vibration those words carry. So it is not enough to whisper, "I am prosperous." You must feel prosperity. You must see it with the inner eye. You must live it inwardly until your subconscious accepts it as your identity. For thousands of years, sages have taught this truth in different languages. In India, they spoke of samskaras, mental impressions that sculpt destiny. In ancient Egypt, they called it the K, the unseen energy that obeys thought. Modern science confirms that the subconscious governs more than 90% of our daily decisions. All of it points back to one principle: what you feel before sleep becomes the script that directs your waking life. When you drift into alpha and theta waves, the gates of the subconscious swing open. There are no filters, no doubts, no resistance. Only pure receptivity. Feed your mind elevated ideas in those minutes, and your deepest patterns can shift effortlessly. This is the hidden practice of geniuses, inventors, visionaries, and creators. They fall asleep with a question, a desire, an image, and awaken with the answer. Every thought infused with faith becomes an energetic command. Every emotion deeply felt etches itself into your mental field. And that field is magnetic. If you believe in scarcity, your inner bridge to the universe dims. If you believe in abundance, it brightens, and opportunities flow. Prosperity begins not in your work, not in your bank account, but in the image you hold of yourself. See yourself as limited, and the subconscious will enforce that vision. See yourself as capable, worthy, abundant, and it will reorganize reality to prove you right. Each night is a chance to reset your life. When the world sleeps, you get to choose what you plant within. Say quietly, "While I sleep, my mind works for my prosperity. I am surrounded by opportunity. Abundance finds me with ease. My subconscious attracts wealth, well-being, and success." Let each phrase fall into your mind, like drops of water onto stone. Slow, steady, unmistakable. Your subconscious is neutral. It does not reward or punish. It obeys. You are the programmer, and night is your most powerful moment to rewrite the code. Chapter 2. The Seed of Wealth. A single defined thought. Everything humans have ever created began as something invisible. A seed, an intention, a single, clearly defined thought. Every building, every invention, every fortune, every breakthrough was once nothing more than an idea, held firmly in the mind of someone who dared to imagine with clarity what they wanted. The universe does not respond to chaotic effort, nor to scattered desire. It responds to precision, to the mind that knows what it seeks, that nourishes its vision day after day, night after night, until the invisible becomes inevitable. Napoleon Hill captured this truth in simple, immortal words. Every achievement, every fortune, begins with a definite idea. This is the foundational law of prosperity. A person without a clear purpose becomes lost. A mind without a defined desire splits itself between doubts, distractions, and conflicting impulses. But the one who knows exactly what they want, who feels their goal burning in their heart like a living flame, begins to attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that guide them toward it. A defined thought is the seed. Your subconscious mind is the fertile soil where that seed takes root. But if each night you plant a different seed, wealth today, fear tomorrow, hope one moment, and doubt the next, the soil becomes confused. The inner mind cannot obey contradictory commands. The first step toward true prosperity is not effort, it is decision. crystal clear decision. It is not enough to say, "I want money." Money is a consequence, not a purpose. Ask yourself instead, why do I desire prosperity? What does success look like for me? If fear did not exist, what life would I choose to live? Your subconscious needs images, needs direction, needs a picture. It can translate into reality. The clearer your vision, the faster your inner mind begins constructing the path. Imagine for a moment standing before a vast, endless field. In your hand is a tiny seed, and that seed contains your entire future. It could become a tree, a shelter, a forest, a legacy, but first you must choose what it will be. If you toss a random seed onto the ground, you cannot expect a specific fruit. The mind works the same way. It produces exactly what you plant in it. Nothing more, nothing less. History's greatest creators understood this law. Edison wanted to command the light. Ford wanted a car any family could afford. Carnegie dreamed of reshaping steel into the backbone of modern progress. None of them began with certainty, but all of them began with vision. A vision so vivid, so emotional, so unwavering, that their subconscious minds worked relentlessly to turn those inner pictures into physical form. Your life will not change until your desire becomes a positive obsession, not a weak wish, but a deep conviction that burns within you even as you sleep. This fire is the language of the subconscious. It does not respond to whims. It responds to passion. If you desire with your entire being, if you see it, feel it, repeat it with certainty, your inner mind will begin moving everything necessary toward you. Every night before sleep, focus on one image, the clearest representation of your prosperity. Not a vague daydream, but a living scene. If your desire is financial freedom, visualize yourself already inhabiting that freedom. Feel the calm of stability, the joy of generosity, the confidence of independence. If your desire is a thriving business, see doors opening, people trusting you, opportunities flowing toward you. Let this image become your nightly ritual. Turn off the lights, breathe deeply. Repeat your desire in the present tense, not, "I want to be prosperous," but "I am prosperous." Not, "I hope to succeed," but "My success is already unfolding." Words are vibrations, and the subconscious recognizes only the vibration of the present moment. To affirm in the present is to declare that you have already received. Hill taught that every desire must contain three elements: clarity, faith, and purpose. Clarity defines the target. Faith energizes it. Purpose keeps it alive. When these three merge, they form a magnetic current that no obstacle can resist. This current penetrates the subconscious, extends into the energetic field of the universe, and begins attracting experiences that match your intention. Everything begins with a decision. A complete, unshakable decision. Not will it happen, but it is only a matter of time. Once the subconscious accepts an idea as truth, the manifestation has already begun. A defined thought is a mental command, a laser beam compared to the scattered fog of doubt. A divided mind cannot generate power, but a focused mind, a mind that repeats a single idea with emotion, becomes unstoppable. Think of your desire as a melody playing inside your chest. Each repetition strengthens it. Each night you fall asleep with that melody, your subconscious amplifies it and begins aligning your life with its rhythm. This is how coincidences are born. This is how opportunities appear. This is how luck is manufactured. Not by magic, but by a focused mind. Choose your desire tonight. Write it, repeat it, feel it, fall asleep with it. Let it take root, because the seed you plant in your mind is the fortune you harvest in your life. Chapter 3. Faith, the force that turns thought into reality. Nothing in the human mind has power until faith touches it. Faith is the invisible spark that turns a simple thought into living energy, a vague desire into focused action, a mental image into tangible reality. It is the silent force that joins the visible with the invisible, the physical with the spiritual. Without faith, Words are empty. Affirmations are hollow echoes that never leave the walls of your own skull. But when faith enters, everything vibrates differently. The universe begins to answer, with precision. Napoleon Hill taught that faith acts like a catalyst. When it combines with thought, it lifts that thought onto a higher frequency, from ordinary mental vibration into something spiritual, magnetic, creative. Faith is not just a belief, it is a substance, a mental energy. That changes the quality of everything it touches. When you think with faith, your thoughts come alive. They gain weight. They become charged, radiating outward like a signal, calling similar energies to them. You are not born with faith fully formed. You build it. It does not fall from the sky. It is cultivated through repetition, experience, and the decision to trust yourself, even when nothing outside you has changed yet. Every time you hold a positive thought, and later watch it manifest, your faith grows stronger. Every time you choose to trust, even while your circumstances seem to contradict you, you strengthen your inner power. Faith is like a muscle. It develops by using it, not by waiting for it to appear. The subconscious is deeply obedient to faith. It does not care whether your affirmation is reasonable or not. It does not analyze whether your dream is realistic. It listens only to one thing, the intensity of your conviction. If you say, "I'm going to prosper," but inside you hesitate, your inner mind registers a weak signal. A mere possibility. But if you declare with calm certainty, "I am destined to prosper," and you feel it in your chest, without inner contradiction, your subconscious accepts it as fact. And once it accepts it, it begins moving everything, seen and unseen, to fulfill that command. Faith is the bridge between desire and manifestation. It is the warmth that awakens the seed. You plant it in your mind. Without faith, the seed lies buried, dormant beneath the soil. With faith, it sprouts, even in the harshest ground. Everything humanity has ever achieved began with an act of faith, a willingness to believe in what was not yet visible. Someone believed in light. Before electricity existed in homes, someone believed in flight. When gravity seemed absolute, someone believed that the mind could shape wealth and destiny. Long before mindset was a common word, tonight you are called to ignite that same flame. Not blind faith, but conscious faith, active, deliberate, creative. This is the faith. That does not wait to see in order to believe, but believes to see. The faith that does not collapse in difficulty because it understands that every obstacle is part of a larger design. Imagine faith as a current of electricity running through your mind. When it is switched on, everything aligns. Your thoughts become clearer, your emotions quieter, your words more powerful. When faith is switched off, your energy scatters. Doubt multiplies. The body tenses. The mind grows confused. To keep faith alive is to keep your vital energy in motion. You do not need to understand how your prosperity will appear. That is not your task. Your role is not to control the method. Your role is to remain faithful to the outcome. The how belongs to the universe. The what belongs to you. If you hold the end result with faith, life will take care of the root. Through an idea, a person, a moment of inspiration, a sudden opportunity you never planned for, faith opens doors that logic doesn't even know exist. And when doubt appears, as it surely will, do not fight it with fear. See it as a passing cloud. Say inwardly, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I have already chosen to believe." Faith does not always erase doubt instantly. It simply rises above it. Light does not argue with darkness. It just shines, and darkness dissolves. Every time you choose trust, even when you cannot yet see the outcome, you are training your mind to obey you, instead of obeying fear. Hill taught that faith feeds on auto-suggestion. Tell yourself repeatedly what you choose to believe. And eventually, you will believe it. Believe it so deeply that you begin to act as if it were already true. And when you act that way, you step into the reality that matches your belief. That is the sacred cycle of faith. Thought, repetition, emotion, action, manifestation. This is how miracles occur, not as violations of natural law, but as results of spiritual law, applied with precision. Every night before sleep, practice faith as if it were a meditation. Close your eyes and affirm softly, in your mind or aloud. I believe in the power of my mind. I believe I am worthy of abundance. I believe prosperity flows to me with ease and grace. I believe everything is working in my favor, even when I don't understand how. Say these words slowly. Let each phrase sink into you, like a stone gently dropped into still water. Do not speak with desperation. Speak with serenity. Faith does not beg. Faith knows. As you do this, you may feel a quiet peace rising in you. A sweetness, a stillness, a certainty that does not come from reasoning. That feeling is faith awakening. The universe responds exactly to the frequency of your belief. Believe that everything goes wrong and reality will give you constant evidence. Believe that life conspires in your favor and you will begin noticing synchronicities, signs, small coincidences that guide you forward. None of it is random. It is the reflection of your faith. When you learn to hold faith, even in uncertainty, you discover something extraordinary. Reality begins to obey you, not because you dominate the universe, but because you finally align with it. Faith is the quiet engine of the miracle. You cannot see it, but its effects are unmistakable. Tonight, as sleep surrounds you, feel faith as a flame in your chest. That cannot be extinguished. Let it grow, expand, fill your mind and body. With the assurance, all is working. My prosperity is on its way. My mind is a perfect channel for abundance. Faith does not ask for proof, it creates it. The mind that believes is unstoppable. The mind that doubts remains in chains. Tonight, choose your side. Choose to believe. Chapter 4. The Vibration of Abundance. Everything in the universe vibrates, from the most distant star to the smallest cell moving silently within your body. Nothing is still. Everything is in motion. Everything emits a frequency. Everything is energy unfolding itself moment by moment. And you, though you may not see it, are a living field of vibration, a human antenna, broadcasting signals and receiving them every second of your life. Abundance, prosperity, love, health. These are not objects to chase. They are frequencies to tune into. Napoleon Hill understood this deeply. He taught that thought is not just a mental event. It is a vibrational force. Every thought, especially one infused with emotion, sends out a signal that travels into the minds of others, into circumstances, into the invisible framework of the universe. A thought of poverty vibrates low, dense, heavy, contracted. A thought of prosperity vibrates high, light, open, expansive. And the universe, like a flawless mirror, reflects back the vibration you emit. This is one of the most powerful, yet least understood laws of creation. The law of vibration comes before. The law of attraction. You cannot attract what you are not vibrating. You cannot receive abundance. While your inner field is pulsing with scarcity, you cannot find opportunities while vibrating in fear or despair. True change does not begin in your circumstances. It begins in the frequency. You are broadcasting from within. Every thought is an electrical impulse. Every emotion is a magnetic wave. Together, they create a vibrational signature. That becomes the blueprint of your reality. When you think with joy, gratitude, and trust, your vibration becomes harmonious, and the universe responds with harmony. When you think with fear, resentment, or doubt, your vibration distorts, and you attract confusion, resistance, and stagnation. Abundance is not achieved through struggle. It is accessed through alignment. Your mind is like a musical instrument. If it is out of tune, no matter how hard you try, the sound will be discordant. But when it is tuned to the right frequency, the frequency of faith, gratitude, certainty, love, your entire life begins to play a new melody. Suddenly opportunities appear, doors open, people show up at the perfect moment, problems dissolve without force. Not because you exerted more effort, but because your vibration changed. Think of abundance as a radio station, broadcasting non-stop. The signal never stops, but only those aligned with that frequency can hear it. If your mind is tuned to complaint, you will hear more reasons to complain. If your mind is tuned to gratitude, you will hear messages of possibility and growth. The dial is in your hands. You choose the station you live on. Many believe abundance arrives when their external life changes, but it is the opposite. External life changes only when your vibration changes. A person with a poor mindset will continue attracting lack, even if their income rises, because the frequency of scarcity remains. A person with an abundant mindset can find prosperity, even in crisis, because their frequency aligns with creation, not limitation. Your vibration is shaped by your dominant thoughts and, even more powerfully, by your consistent emotions. It is not enough to say, "I am prosperous," 1,000 times. If inside you feel fear, the subconscious will follow the emotion, not the words. This is why the real work is emotional work, not thinking positively, but feeling differently. Emotion is the language of the subconscious, and gratitude is its highest expression. When you feel genuine gratitude, not forced, not imagined, your vibration rises instantly. Gratitude places you in the exact frequency of abundance, because whoever gives thanks believes they already have, and whoever believes they already have opens the doors for more. Before sleep, practice raising your vibration, not by fighting your thoughts or suppressing your feelings, but by elevating them. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and whisper inwardly, "I am in harmony with the energy of the universe. Abundance vibrates in me, through me, and around me. My heart emits gratitude. My mind radiates faith. Everything in my life flows in perfect balance." Feel these words. Do not repeat them mechanically. Let each one enter you, like a warm current. Imagine a soft golden light surrounding you. Your vibrational field. Positive thoughts intensify it. Elevated emotions expand it. Your body is an instrument of energy. Your heart beats at a rhythm that your thoughts can shift. When you think with love, your heart and mind synchronize. When you think with fear, they separate. Abundance appears when body, mind, and spirit vibrate in one rhythm. He'll notice that truly successful people radiated something invisible, a serene magnetism, a quiet confidence, a calm power. This was their vibration. Not luck, not coincidence, but coherence. They thought success, spoke success, behaved as successful. And their energy confirmed it. And the universe had no choice but to return the frequency they emitted. You possess that same magnetism. It lives inside you, dormant, but waiting. Each time you choose expansion, choose gratitude, choose generosity, you elevate your frequency. And when your frequency rises, your life begins to change. Effortlessly. Before sleep, release every dense emotion. Let scarcity, guilt, frustration rise like smoke and disappear. Then focus on one feeling, gratitude for what is and for what is coming. Gratitude is the fastest portal to the frequency of abundance. Tell the universe, "Thank you for the roof above me. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Thank you for the money I have and the money on its way to me. Thank you for the ideas, the opportunities, the people entering my life." Each thank you lifts your vibration another level, like climbing an invisible staircase into a higher reality. In that higher state, prosperity is not hunted. It is magnetized. Remember, you cannot attract what you do not vibrate. You cannot sustain abundance with a mind that pulses with lack. You must become the vibration of what you desire. Feel abundant now, and abundance arrives. Feel grateful now, and life multiplies what you honor. The universe understands vibration, not words. If every night you emit the frequency of trust, faith, gratitude, your life will transform. As naturally as dawn breaks the darkness, abundance is not conquered. It is allowed, not pursued, but tuned to. Tonight, you are already vibrating higher. Simply by accepting these ideas, let your mind rest in this energy. Imagine floating in an ocean of golden light, every cell absorbing it, every heavy thought dissolving, and as sleep gently takes you, whisper, "I am one with the abundance of the universe. Everything I need comes to me with ease. I vibrate in gratitude, in faith, in love. Prosperity flows with every breath." Your subconscious will hear it. It will absorb it. It will vibrate with it. And when morning arrives, the universe will answer. With harmony, with opportunity, with expansion. Abundance does not arrive. It awakens. And tonight, it awakens in you. Chapter 5. Nighttime Autosuggestion. Reprogramming the Sleeping Mind. The human mind is an enormous garden, alive, fertile, and always listening. During the day, seeds are scattered into it randomly. Thoughts influenced by conversations, memories pulled from the past, doubts seeded by fear, dreams whispered by desire. The winds of distraction blow through constantly, reshuffling everything you plant, before it has time to take root. But at night, when the body surrenders to rest, the garden becomes still, the soil softens, the noise fades, the inner world opens. Night is the sacred hour of autosuggestion, the moment when you gain direct access to the most fertile territory you possess, your subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill described autosuggestion as the mechanism through which an individual feeds the subconscious, either creative or destructive thoughts, depending entirely on their choice. This means something extraordinary. You are communicating with your subconscious every moment of your life, whether you intend to or not. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are commands. Your words are not casual. They are instructions. And your subconscious, that invisible servant who works without sleep, responds to everything, without argument, without analysis, without resistance. When you sleep, the conscious mind steps aside. It is no longer judging, no longer doubting, no longer interrupting. What remains is the silent guardian, your subconscious, open, receptive, malleable, ready to be imprinted, with whatever truth you choose to offer, everything you repeat before sleep, everything you feel with emotion, as you drift toward dreaming is recorded as fact, and that fact begins forming in the unseen layers of your reality. Autosuggestion is the art of deliberately choosing what seeds to plant in your inner garden before the night closes over you. It is the science of reprogramming your sleeping mind so that it works in your favor, not against you. Every affirmation is a seed, every repetition is water, every emotion is sunlight, and the subconscious does not differentiate between the real and the vividly imagined. If you imagine poverty with fear, it believes it. If you imagine abundance with certainty, it believes that too. Your outer life is shaped, not by what is objectively true, but by what your subconscious has accepted as true. Autosuggestion returns the power to you, the power to choose which truth becomes your destiny. Most people allow life to imprint them. They absorb stray thoughts from others, fearful words from the world, negative news, painful memories. They let the environment write their inner script. But the men and women who shape their own futures do the opposite. They become the guardians of their mental garden. Tonight you will do the same. You will speak to your subconscious with authority, with clarity, with tenderness, with faith. And while you sleep, it will obey. Not blindly, but faithfully, following the new pattern. You are about to give it. There is something essential to understand. Your subconscious does not understand negation. If you say, "I don't want more debt," it hears debt. If you say, "I don't want to be stressed," it hears stress. This is why effective autosuggestion is always stated in the positive, in the present tense, infused with emotion and conviction. Say, "My financial life is in divine order. Money flows to me with ease and joy. Every day I feel calmer, safer, more prosperous." These are the seeds that bear fruit. When you repeat them, do not speak as if wishing. Speak as if stating a fact. Do not simply say the words. Feel them. Imagine the reality they describe. Feel it in your body. Feel it in your breathing. Feel it in your chest. The subconscious responds to emotions, not empty phrasing. Hill taught, repeat your thoughts of prosperity again and again, and the subconscious will accept them. Once accepted, it will translate them into their physical equivalent. This means that what you affirm tonight will reveal itself in your circumstances tomorrow, if you persist. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted. It requires consistency. It requires devotion. It requires love. Autosuggestion is not about forcing belief, but about repeating truth. Until your mind relaxes into it, until the new pattern becomes your default vibration. Make your night a temple. Dim the outer world. Lie down. Close your eyes slowly. Allow your breath to deepen. And for a few precious minutes, feed your sleeping mind with prosperity. Say slowly, with deliberate intention, "I am the creator of my destiny. My thoughts shape my reality. As I sleep, my mind attracts opportunities, ideas, and abundance. I am aligned with the flow of prosperity. Each day, my life improves in all ways." Pause between each line. Let the words echo within you. Let each sentence sink deeper into the soft soil of your mind. Now visualize yourself in a place that symbolizes your success, your dream home, your flourishing business, your freedom, your peace. Feel the atmosphere of that place. Hear the sounds. Sense the temperature. Feel the freedom in your chest. Your subconscious does not need details, only emotion. Night after night, this ritual strengthens the bridge between your waking mind and your sleeping mind. You will begin noticing subtle shifts, a lighter feeling in the morning, more hopeful thoughts, unexpected ideas, small opportunities appearing, as if in response to your inner commands. Nothing is coincidence. These are the first fruits of autosuggestion at work. Your subconscious does not perceive time. It experiences everything as happening now. This is why affirmation with faith shrinks the distance between desire and manifestation. You stop living in waiting and start living in certainty, and the universe, responding to that certainty, rearranges itself around your belief. One final key: gratitude. Gratitude seals the instruction. Gratitude tells the subconscious, the work is done. This is real. When you give thanks for what you have affirmed, even before you see it, you complete the inner cycle. Tonight, after this chapter ends, remain in silence for a moment. Give thanks for your life, your body, your awakening mind, your inner strength. Say gently, "Thank you that my mind is programmed for success. Thank you that prosperity is flowing toward me. Thank you that every day I move closer to the highest version of myself." This gratitude is the final command. Your subconscious will take it, activate it, and begin reorganizing your habits, your impulses, your decisions, your perceptions, effortlessly. When you wake, pay attention. Notice the signals, the ideas, the coincidences. This is your sleeping mind, fulfilling the orders. You gave it. That is the power of autosuggestion. It does not force, it transforms. It does not struggle, it persuades. And once the subconscious is persuaded, the world follows. Hill called this the heart of all mental transformation. Repeat, believe, feel, give thanks. Do it every night, until your sleeping mind and your waking mind move as one force, one vibration, one destiny. Then you will understand that sleep is not merely rest. It is the laboratory where your future is built. Chapter 6. The Creative Power of Desire. Everything that exists in this world was once nothing more than a desire. Fire, before it became a spark in the dark, was a longing in the mind of the first human, who shivered in the cold and dreamed of warmth. Flight, before it became metal in the sky, was the aching desire to rise above the earth, in the hearts of those who refused to accept gravity as a prison. Prosperity, before it became visible wealth, was the quiet desire for freedom. In the soul of someone who dared to imagine a life beyond lack, desire is the beginning of all creation. It is the force that pushes the mind to move, to search, to invent, to stretch beyond what seems possible. Napoleon Hill called desire the starting point of all achievement. And he was right. Without desire, there is no energy, no direction, no fire. Desire is the divine spark that activates the machinery of the universe. But not all desire is the same. There is shallow desire and there is burning desire. Shallow desire is weak, uncertain, easily distracted. It comes from comparison, from ego, from trying to prove something to others. Such desire dies at the first sign of difficulty. It fades when things get uncomfortable. But burning desire is different. Burning desire does not come from the ego. It rises from the soul. It does not shout from the outside. It whispers from within. It does not disappear when you fail. It transforms and returns stronger. It is the kind of desire that lives so deeply in your heart that you cannot ignore it, no matter how much time passes. When you feel a burning desire, you know your entire life will eventually bend in its direction. Burning desire is the universe speaking through you. It is life itself saying, "This is what you came here to create." The great achievements of humanity were never born from lukewarm wishes. They were born from unshakable desires, desires that refused to surrender, even after rejection, failure, mockery, or hardship. Hill taught that desire must be kept constantly in mind. It must become a living flame, not a passing wish. Only then does it awaken the full power of your subconscious. When an idea is united with a desire strong enough, the inner mind begins working automatically. It searches for information. It filters reality for opportunities. It generates ideas seemingly out of nowhere. It nudges you into new actions that align with your goal. Your desire is the command that starts all of these processes. But true desire does not come from caprice. It arises from vision, from the need to expand, to express more life. You do not desire prosperity just to collect money. You desire prosperity to feel free, to create, to give, to express the best of who you are. When desire is purified, it stops being selfish and becomes creative energy. Then its power becomes limitless. Your subconscious responds to desire the same way a seed responds to sunlight. It awakens. When you feel a desire deeply, your entire system, mind, emotions, body, begins to align with it. Your thoughts shift, your decisions become clearer, your actions gain coherence. Without realizing it, you begin walking in the exact direction of what you long for. But there is a sacred law: desire must be felt as already fulfilled. If you chase your desire with desperation, you push it away. If you hold it with faith, you draw it closer. Desire is not a declaration of lack. It is a call inward, toward a higher version of yourself. When you desire from emptiness, you vibrate in scarcity. When you desire from expansion, you vibrate in abundance. Tonight, look honestly at your desires. Ask yourself, where does my desire for prosperity come from? From fear of not having enough, or from love of creating more life? Your answer will reveal the quality of your energy. Only the desires born from love, from inspiration, from faith, are the ones the universe supports with its full power. Burning desire is a wordless prayer. When you desire with your entire being, you are declaring your destiny. The universe cannot ignore a heart and mind aligned with pure passion. This is why Hill said, that desire is the foundation upon which faith is built. First, you desire, then you believe, then you act, then you receive. This is the spiral of creation. Each night before sleep, take your desire and transform it into a living image. Do not repeat it as a weak wish. See it as a reality, already existing, in the invisible realm. See yourself living the life you want. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom. Hear the sounds around you. Sense the atmosphere. Walk inside that scene. The clearer the image, the deeper it presses into your subconscious. Autosuggestion, which you have already learned, is the vehicle. Desire is the fuel. Without desire, affirmations are empty. With desire, affirmations become creative fire. Do not fear desire. Desire is not selfish when it emerges from growth. Life desires expansion through you. The universe needs your dreams as much as you need them, because your dreams are the pathways through which more life is expressed. Every time you feel a genuine desire, you are cooperating with the creative energy of existence. Hill told the story of a man who lost everything. Standing in ruins, he wrote his desire on a simple piece of paper with absolute faith. He read it every morning and every night. He imagined it so intensely that years later, everything he had written had become real. When asked how he did it, he replied, "I didn't just want it, I lived it inside myself until it became inevitable." That is the secret. When your desire becomes inevitable within you, the universe has no choice but to reflect it outward. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between what you feel vividly and what you experience physically. If you feel it intensely, you are creating it. If you repeat it with faith, you are calling it into form. Tonight, in silence, affirm inwardly, "My desire is sacred. It is the voice of my soul, calling me to expand. Every day I move closer to its fulfillment. Nothing can prevent it, because it is already complete, in my mind and in my heart." Feel these words until they ignite something inside you. Do not worry about how it will happen. That part does not belong to you. Your role is to keep the flame alive, even when the wind blows, even when you cannot yet see results. Remember, desire without action is fantasy. Desire with faith is destiny. Each night as you sleep, your subconscious transforms your desire into plans, impulses, intuitions, paths you would never have seen. Without that inner fire, the universe listens to the language of emotion, not the language of doubt. Tomorrow, as you wake, you may feel a new direction, a sudden clarity, a quiet knowing, or the appearance of a random opportunity. That is your sign. Your desire has been heard. From this night forward, do not fall asleep without a clear desire in your heart. Make your desire a silent prayer, a steady flame, a light that never goes out, because that flame, sustained with love, faith, and action, becomes the force that moves worlds. Your desire is not a mistake. It is the seed of your purpose. Nurture it, and it will become your new reality. Chapter 7. The Silent Persistence. The world belongs to the persistent, not to the most talented, not to the fastest, not even to the most intelligent. Every true success story in human history has been written with invisible ink, the ink of persistence. Persistence is faith in motion. It is the quiet proof that your desire is more than a passing fantasy. It is a decision made by the soul. Napoleon Hill, after studying hundreds of the most successful people of his era, noticed one common thread woven into all their stories: the ability to remain standing in the face of rejection, doubt, adversity, and, perhaps, the greatest test of all: time. Most people give up the moment the seed is just about to break through the soil. Persistence is the art of staying upright. When everyone else sits down, it is continuing to plant. even when the earth looks barren. It is keeping your faith alive, even in the dark. The human mind has a natural tendency to surrender. When results do not come quickly, the ego whispers, "This isn't working. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe it's too hard." But the subconscious does not grow on the clock of impatience. It grows on the rhythm of nature, and all growth requires maturation. Persistence is the bridge between desire and its manifestation. It is the force that keeps the flame alive. When the winds of discouragement blow, silent persistence is not stubborn resistance. It is not pushing against life nor forcing an outcome. It is a quiet certainty, a calm, steady conviction, a state in which you keep moving forward, without anxiety, without fear. Persistence is not pressure, it is direction. The ability to hold your vision, even when your eyes see nothing yet. Imagine a farmer. He does not plant today and expect fruit tomorrow. He plants because he trusts the law. He knows the seed grows in silence, in darkness, hidden from sight. He does not dig it up each morning to see if it has sprouted. He simply waters, protects, and waits. That is persistence, and so it must be. With your desires, your affirmations, your faith, do not interrupt the process by asking if it is working. Trust that it already is. Every positive thought you repeat, every affirmation of prosperity, every image of success you hold before sleep, is gathering energy inside you. You may not see it yet, but your subconscious is busy. Building connections, changing perceptions, pulling opportunities into your field. Persistence keeps this inner machinery running. Hill wrote, "Persistence is a state of mind that can be cultivated. Its foundation is willpower blended with desire." This means persistence is not born from obligation. It is born from passion. When your desire is genuine, when it feels like part of your purpose, the energy to persist rises naturally. You do not need constant motivation. Your vision itself becomes the fuel. Silent persistence is forged in those moments when no one applauds you, when the path looks frozen, when no doors open, when loneliness sits beside you. These are the moments when the Creator's character is shaped, where the soul proves that its faith does not depend on results, but on its inner certainty. The conscious mind tires, but the subconscious never does. Give it a clear order, and it will work day and night, with infinite patience, until it fulfills it. Your role is simply to keep the flame alive, long enough for it to finish its work. Persistence does not mean working harder. It means holding the vibration longer. Do not despair if progress seems slow. The Chinese bamboo takes years before showing a single shoot above the ground. For all those years, nothing appears. But under the soil, a network of roots is expanding, strengthening, preparing, and when it finally breaks through, it grows in weeks. What other trees take years to achieve? Your subconscious works the same way. Your prosperity is forming beneath the surface. Your task is not to hurry it, but not to abandon it either. Each night, when you repeat your affirmations, do it with the calmness of the farmer. Feel each word as water on your seed. Feel each visualization as sunlight. And if one night you feel tired, simply whisper, "I do not stop. I trust the process. My prosperity grows even when I cannot see it. Every positive thought builds my new reality." Silent persistence also means learning to rest without quitting, to let the mind recover without losing direction. Rest is not surrender. Rest is a strategy. Even nature has seasons. Winter is not death. It is preparation. During your nights while you sleep, your subconscious continues the work. Your conscious mind began. Plant with intention. Sleep with trust. Wake with faith. Every sunrise brings tiny signals that your mental work is bearing fruit. A coincidence, an idea, a sudden clarity, a conversation that opens a door. Recognize them. Give thanks. Recognition strengthens the process. Hill taught that every apparent failure is simply a test of persistence. Life wants to know whether you truly desire it or merely wish for it casually. When you prove that your faith does not depend on circumstances, the universe yields to you. Because nothing can stop a mind that refuses to abandon its vision. Silent persistence also means protecting your vision from those who do not understand faith. You do not need external approval. Your conviction is enough. Sometimes power works best in silence, in the quiet mind that builds in secret. Every unnecessary word scatters energy. Every shared doubt weakens your focus. Keep your vision close, guard it, feed it until it blooms. Remember, great achievements do not come from bursts of intensity, but from consistency. A thought repeated with faith, night after night, has more power than 1,000 affirmations spoken once. With temporary enthusiasm, repetition becomes belief, belief becomes reality. Tonight, as you listen to the quiet around you, feel the strength of persistence, awakening within, a calm firmness, an unbreakable faith. You do not need to push harder, you only need to stay aligned. Tell your sleeping mind, I keep moving forward. Nothing can stop me. What I desire is already on its way. My faith is stronger than time. The universe is working in my favor. Let these words carry you into sleep. Your subconscious will hear them and translate them into action, ideas, synchronicities. Because silent persistence is the voice inside you that never goes out, the whisper that reminds you, every single day, you are closer than you think. Every night brings you nearer, and one day you will look back and realize that the difference was not luck, nor talent, nor opportunity. It was your silent persistence. Chapter 8. Alliance with your subconscious. Within you lives a power, so vast, so steady, so quietly intelligent, that if you truly learned to collaborate with it, you would never again feel helpless, never again feel alone, never again feel trapped in lack or doubt. That power is not outside of you. It does not belong to other people. It is not controlled by luck or by changing circumstances. That power is your subconscious mind, your invisible partner, your sleepless ally, the silent architect of your destiny. Napoleon Hill called it the central power station of the human mind. Others have named it the soul, the inner intelligence, the creative spirit. Different words, same truth. When you form an alliance with your subconscious, you become a conscious co-creator of your reality. Most people, without realizing it, live in conflict with their own inner mind. They say they want prosperity, but plant thoughts of fear and unworthiness. They ask for abundance, but deep inside feel they don't deserve it. They try to move forward, but their subconscious drags behind it. Old beliefs of limitation, like invisible chains, so they live divided. One part of them moving toward the light, another pulling them back into the shadows. Your alliance with your subconscious begins when you understand something crucial. You cannot force it. You can only educate it, feed it, and earn its trust. Your deeper mind does not obey the loud orders of logic. It responds to the language of feeling, of imagery, of faith. It is the fertile soil where whatever you plant repeatedly, with emotion, begins to grow. Your subconscious does not argue. It does not judge. It does not say, this is right, this is wrong. It simply accepts. It obeys. It creates. That is its nature. So whatever you repeat to it daily, whether with fear or with faith, becomes the invisible blueprint of your life. If you constantly tell it, life is hard, it will present you with hardness. If you affirm money always disappears, it will faithfully arrange circumstances to make that statement true. But the moment you begin to say, life supports me, abundance belongs to me, everything flows in my favor, this obedient mind begins to adjust to the new order. It reorganizes your perceptions, your impulses, your opportunities to confirm this new reality. The alliance with your subconscious is not signed with words alone. It is sealed with emotional coherence. Every time your thoughts, emotions, and actions agree with each other, you send a clear, powerful signal inward. Your subconscious feels your certainty and responds with power. But if you say one thing and feel another, your signal is distorted. Your inner mind does not hear what you say. It hears what you really believe. So the first step in forming this alliance is learning to trust your deep mind. Trust that it knows how to guide you, how to warn you, how to protect you. Trust that while you are sleeping, it is still working on your behalf. Trust that even when you do not understand the process, the outcome is moving toward your highest good. Your subconscious is like a vast ocean. From your conscious mind, you only see the surface. Waves, reflections, movement. But beneath that surface, powerful currents are flowing constantly. Memories, intuitions, associations, patterns of energy and meaning. When you learn to cooperate with those currents, you stop fighting the tide and start sailing with the force. That carries everything. How do you establish this alliance? Through daily rituals of communication. Just as any friendship deepens, through consistent, heartfelt contact, your relationship with your subconscious strengthens when you speak to it in its language. Its language is simple: images, felt words, emotion. Each night before sleep, speak to it as you would speak to a trusted ally. Say inwardly, I know you are working with me. I know you protect and guide me. I know that everything I imagine with faith, you quietly bring into form. Say it with love, not with desperation, with calm, not with urgency. Your subconscious does not respond to tension. It responds to ease. Its power is activated in stillness, not in anxiety. Remember, your subconscious is nourished by vivid images. You do not need 1,000 phrases. You need one clear picture, held with feeling. Imagine yourself already living the life you desire, the home, the freedom, the peace, the contribution. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures. Do not imagine it as someone who is dreaming of someday. Imagine it as someone remembering something real, something that already belongs to you. In the invisible, that difference is essential. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between memory and a fully felt visualization. If you feel it as real, it records it as truth. Hill discovered that the subconscious is directly connected to a universal intelligence, something beyond the individual mind. So when you give your inner mind a clear instruction, that command does not stay confined within you. It enters a wider field of possibilities and begins to attract resources, people, ideas, and events that resonate with it. Your subconscious is your channel to that field, your translator between the visible world and the invisible one. Treat it with reverence. As you would treat a wise teacher, do not bombard it with chaotic, contradictory signals. Speak with clarity, speak simply, speak with certainty. Your subconscious does not need pressure. It needs direction. Direction repeated, gentle, strong, consistent. As you enter into alliance with your subconscious, your life begins to flow with a softness and order you may never have known before. You start sensing things before they happen. The right moment to move, the right moment to wait, the right moment to say yes, the right moment to say no. Randomness gives way to synchronicity. What you once called luck reveals itself as alignment. This alliance also requires that you care for your daily thoughts, not only your nightly rituals. Every word you speak is an instruction. Every inner image you repeat is a blueprint. Every emotion you sustain is a command. So keep your inner language aligned with abundance. Even in difficult moments, do not tell your mind what you fear. Tell it what you choose. When you feel tired or confused, remember, your subconscious does not get tired. Even when you perceive no movement, it is growing new roots beneath the surface, preparing future branches. Before the first leaf appears, patience and calm trust are the food of this alliance. Make this practice a habit. Each night as you close your eyes, whisper softly or silently, "I trust my deep mind. My subconscious is my ally. Together we create prosperity, peace, and balance. While I sleep, it works for me. While I rest, my success is being prepared." Feel those words. Do not rush them. Imagine taking the hand of an invisible friend. Steady, wise, unshakable. Feel the connection between you and that silent power living at your core. Your subconscious is not other. It is you, but you in your deepest, wisest, the most limitless form. With time, this alliance will feel natural. Your intuition will sharpen. Your decisions will flow. Your peace will stay, even in uncertainty. And you will understand something profound. You were never alone. The voice that guides you, the idea that arrives at the right moment, the dream that calls you. All of that comes from this eternal ally within. This is true inner mastery, not dominating the mind but cooperating with it, not commanding it from fear, but inspiring it with faith. The alliance with your subconscious is the beginning of a life without inner conflict. Because when your inner world works with you, nothing outside can truly work against you. Tonight, as sleep takes you gently, offer your mind one simple command: make me a perfect channel of abundance. Then let go, rest, trust. Your subconscious will hear you, and the universe will answer. Chapter 9. Imagination, the night workshop of success. Everything humanity has ever built, every monument, every invention, every fortune, began in the same invisible place, the imagination. Before the first plane lifted off the ground, there was the dream of flight. Before a city was laid brick by brick, someone saw it whole in their mind. Before an inventor shaped a machine with his hands, his mind assembled it in silence. Imagination is the workshop of success, the sacred space where what does not yet exist begins to gather form, structure, vibration. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Imagination is the workshop where all plans are shaped." And he understood something timeless. Great achievements are never accidents. They are born from the ability to visualize clearly, emotionally, and persistently what one intends to create. Imagination is the bridge between the conscious mind that conceives and the subconscious mind that builds. It is the doorway through which thought passes into reality. Your imagination is your inner world, your personal universe, and that invisible world always precedes the visible one. Each night, when you close your eyes and surrender to silence, your imagination is released, no longer restricted by time, by fear, or by the laws of matter. It becomes boundless. In that realm, you can create without resistance, design without limitation, and visualize without fear. This is why the night is the most powerful moment to construct your future. Your subconscious obeys images with absolute fidelity. If you imagine failure, you are planting failure. If you imagine success, you are building success. Your deeper mind does not distinguish between what you live and what you vividly imagine. It only knows how to obey. Therefore, the minutes before sleep are sacred. The last image you hold is the first instruction your subconscious receives. Imagine for a moment that within you there is a silent workshop where the universe collaborates with you. Every thought is a tool. Every emotion is raw material. Every image held with faith is a blueprint in progress. Your mind is this workshop, and you are its architect. But to use it wisely, you must learn the art of intentional imagination. Imagination is not idle daydreaming. It is the conscious directing of the mind's creative force toward a defined purpose. If your mind is filled with worries before sleep, you are constructing a future of worry. But if you fill it with images of gratitude, abundance, and peace, you are designing a radiant future. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is the way each person uses imagination. Think of your mind as a projector. Your imagination is the film. The world outside is the screen. If you dislike the movie playing in your life, Don't blame the screen. Change the film. Change the inner picture. Change the emotion behind it, and life will begin. To reflect the new projection, those who transformed the world always saw it first within themselves. They imagined the impossible until the impossible became inevitable. They did not imagine once. They imagined every day, every night, until the vision became certainty, because when an image is repeated, with enough emotion, the subconscious accepts it as truth, and once it accepts it, it begins to materialize it relentlessly. Your nighttime imagination can be your greatest ally or your silent enemy. If you allow it to wander aimlessly, it will repeat old scenes of fear, guilt, or frustration. But if you guide it with love, teach it to create beauty, abundance, and purpose, it will work on your behalf, even in sleep. This is the difference between living reactively and living creatively. Each night before sleep, transform your mind into a stage. Place there the scenes of your ideal life. See yourself inside them, not as a distant observer, but as the lead character. Feel the emotions of success, of peace, of freedom. Let your body participate, your breath, your posture, your smile. The subconscious learns through feeling. What you feel, you imprint. Hill often said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But the real key is the word conceive. To conceive a thing is to give it life. Imagination is the act of conception. Every image held with emotion is a seed forming in the womb of your mind, and every night that you repeat that image, the seed strengthens. Do not worry. If you see no physical proof yet, do not be discouraged. If your circumstances seem contrary, remember, the visible world is nothing but the reflection of the past. What you imagine today will become the reflection of tomorrow, so do not be fooled by appearances. Return to the workshop. There you rule, there you design, there you create. Imagination is not child's play. It is the divine faculty of humanity, the brush with which you paint your destiny, the language through which you speak. To the creative intelligence of the universe, every image held with faith is a visual prayer, and the universe hears it without a single spoken word. Tonight, make your imagination your sanctuary. Lie down, breathe deeply, release every intrusive thought and whisper inwardly, "This is my hour of creation. In this silence, I design my future." My imagination is pure, powerful, and creative. What I imagine with faith inevitably manifests. Then begin to visualize. See your ideal life, not as something distant, but as something unfolding now. Walk through your mental scene. Speak, laugh, feel, touch. Make it vivid enough that your body believes it. Remain in that image until sleep carries you. That will be the final command. Your subconscious receives tonight. And when you awaken, don't rush. Keep your eyes closed a few moments and see the same image again. Seal it with gratitude. This tells your mind that last night's creation is still real today. Gradually, that image will become your identity, and life can never withhold from someone who already feels they deserve. Remember, imagination does not only create pictures, it creates vibrations. Every visualized thought, charged with emotion, emits a frequency, and the universe, like a perfect echo, returns experiences that match that frequency. Imagine abundance and opportunities appear. Imagine peace and harmony surrounds you. Imagine success and the world reorganizes itself to reflect that belief. The secret is persistence. You do not need 1,000 visions. You need one clear image, held consistently, with emotion. That single image becomes the master blueprint of your new reality. Everything around you will begin to rearrange itself, to align with it. Your imagination is your nocturnal workshop of success. Within it, there are no limits, no obstacles, no impossibilities. Only you decide what to build, what to dissolve, what to bring to life. Make this power a nightly discipline. Create something each evening. An idea, a possibility, a higher version of yourself. Soon the universe will become the canvas for your thoughts. Because success is never hunted. It is imagined first, and every image you hold, in the silence of the night, will eventually become a visible fact. That is the law, that is the promise, that is the quiet magic of imagination. Chapter 10. Transmutation of Energy. The Inner Alchemy of Prosperity. Within you there is a source of inexhaustible energy. It is never created, never destroyed, only transformed. This energy is the vital fire that animates your thoughts, charges your emotions, moves your words, and drives your actions. Most people waste this power unconsciously, scattering it in worry, frustration, resentment, impulse. But those who learn to master it, to direct it, to transmute it, discover that they hold the master key to prosperity. Napoleon Hill wrote, "The transmutation of desire is the secret of creative power." With those words, he revealed one of the deepest, least understood principles of the mind, the ability to transform emotional energy, especially the energy of desire, vital impulse, love, and enthusiasm, into creativity, success, and expansion. Energy is neutral. It is not good or bad. It simply is. Intention is what gives it direction. Every thought, every emotion, every impulse that passes through your being carries an electric charge, a vibration. When that energy is channeled into fear, it becomes anxiety. When it is channeled into anger, it becomes destruction. But when it is directed into faith, into vision, into creative purpose, it becomes creative power. That is transmutation, the art of raising energy, from the instinctive to the inspirational. Your subconscious is the inner alchemist, capable of performing this transformation. It does not reject energy. It recycles it, it reshapes it, it molds it. Your task is to give it direction. If you feel fear, do not wage war against it. Transform it into movement, into a decision, into a step forward. If you feel desire, do not repress it. Channel it into creation, into building, expressing, serving. If you feel pain, do not deny it. Turn it into wisdom, into depth, compassion, understanding. Everything you experience is energy in motion. Nothing needs to be wasted. Transmutation begins with awareness. When you recognize what you feel and observe it without judgment, its frequency begins to change. The emotion stops controlling you and becomes raw material. Then your mind can use it to create. Every intense emotion is a spark of power. If you direct it intentionally, it can feed your projects, your ideas, your dreams. Think of the great creators in history. Many were driven by a powerful emotional current: love, frustration, curiosity, hunger for freedom. That same energy could have consumed them, but they redirected it. It became their engine. Hill discovered that the most productive minds were those that knew how to channel their vital energy into creation, not dispersion. They used their inner fire to build, not to burn. Energy is like water. When it stagnates, it rots. When it flows, it purifies and nourishes. The secret, then, is not to suppress what you feel, but to redirect it. When you feel anger, use it as fuel to become more disciplined, more determined, more focused. When you feel sadness, transform that sensitivity into empathy, into art, into depths of the soul. When you feel desire, turn it into passion for your work, for your purpose, for your evolution. Nothing you feel is wrong. Everything can serve you if you elevate it. Transmutation is, at its core, a form of spiritual alchemy, turning raw human emotion into creative power. And the best time to practice it is at night, when the subconscious is open, when the outer noise diminishes, when the inner river is still enough to be redirected. Close your eyes and imagine your energy as a river of light flowing through your body. This current can scatter into thoughts of fear or concentrate into thoughts of creation, You decide, breathe deeply, and visualize this energy, rising from the base of your spine, upward toward your mind. With each breath, imagine it ascending, transforming intensity into clarity, passion into purpose, emotion into wisdom. Say inwardly to your subconscious, all my energy becomes creative power. My thoughts are clear. My emotions are light. Nothing in me is wasted. Everything I feel moves me toward prosperity and well-being. Feel these words, instead of merely thinking them. As you breathe, you may notice warmth, a subtle vibration, a sense of expansion. That is your vital energy. Responding to your command, your subconscious, is redirecting it toward your creativity, your health, your abundance. He'll understood that the secret of transmutation is not to suppress impulses, but to refine them. The same fire that can destroy can also illuminate. The same desire that can enslave can set you free. It all depends on your level of consciousness. When your conscious mind and your subconscious work together, any emotion, any impulse, any state can be converted into creative power. Every time you face a challenge, remember this. You are not being attacked by life, you are being offered a concentrated dose of energy to transform. That intensity you feel is not punishment. It is a raw material for inner alchemy. Take it, breathe it, transmute it. Use each emotion as a tool, not a chain. Then even your shadows will begin to emit light. Prosperity is not just about money. It is about well-directed energy. A rich mind is not one who never feels pain, but one that refuses to waste its energy on complaint, guilt, and fear, and instead channels it toward creation. Every thought of gratitude, every word of faith, every act of love multiplies your energy. Every complaint, every sustained fear, every bitter criticism scatters it. You decide how you will invest it. Your subconscious is a perpetual engine that can transform any state into a new beginning. But it needs clear instructions, elevated emotions, steady faith. Speak to it every night. Give it commands of transmutation. Transform every challenge into success. Transform every emotion into inspiration. Transform every thought into abundance. Let these words sink in. Your deep mind knows how to obey. It knows the invisible pathways to convert energy into tangible results. While you sleep, it will reorganize your thoughts, purify stored emotions, and create space for new ideas. You will wake lighter, more centered, more inspired. That is transmutation in motion, not a mental trick, a universal law. Energy follows attention. What you look at with love is elevated. What you reject with fear becomes stuck. So begin to look at your life with the eyes of an alchemist. Everything that arrives to be transformed. Transmutation is the mastery of turning inner fire into outer light, of using every experience, even the most painful, as fuel for growth. That is the hidden lesson. Within every obstacle, the opportunity to demonstrate your creative power. Tonight, as you surrender to sleep, visualize your energy as a golden current moving through you. See every heavy thought dissolving. See every low emotion being converted into clarity. See your body filling with light. Whisper softly, all my energy is creative. My whole being vibrates in harmony with abundance. I transmute limitation into strength. Everything I touch flourishes. Let that vibration carry you into your dreams. Your subconscious will listen. All night long, it will turn each spark of emotion into creative force. Little by little, you will learn not to fear what you feel, but to transform it. The secret was never to eliminate energy, but to transmute it. And when you awaken, you will feel the difference, a deep calm, an inner clarity, a quiet strength. That is the sign that your alchemy has begun. Your energy no longer works against you. It now works for you, because the true master is not the one who does not feel, but the one who knows how to transform everything he feels into light. Tonight, that path has already opened for you. Chapter 11. Intuition, the silent guide to prosperity. There is a voice inside you that has never been wrong, a subtle presence, quiet, unshakable, steady as light. It does not shout, it does not argue, it does not reason, it simply knows. That voice is your intuition, the direct connection between your subconscious mind and the infinite intelligence that sustains the universe. It is your inner compass, and when you learn to hear it, it will guide you without error toward prosperity, peace, and profound fulfillment. Napoleon Hill taught that the human mind is a bridge between two realms, the visible world where logic operates and the invisible world where universal intelligence moves. Intuition is the meeting point, the silent current that unites both sides. Through it, your subconscious receives information, warnings, solutions, paths, and opportunities, long before the conscious mind can make sense of them. It is the way the universe whispers directions into your ear, but in the modern world, that voice is often drowned out by noise. The noise of fear, of urgency, of comparison, of doubt. Your intuition never forces itself. It offers itself, and if your mind is crowded with distraction or anxiety, you will not hear it. Intuition does not compete for your attention. It waits for your silence. And at night, when the world quiets, your intuition begins its work. That is why upon waking you sometimes feel a sudden clarity, a solution, an idea, a knowing. This is what I must do. This is not a coincidence. It is your deep mind communicating with you. The subconscious, in alliance with universal intelligence, receives streams of information that your conscious mind is not yet ready to perceive. It translates that information into impressions, impulses, sensations, and inspirations. Intuition is its language. If you want intuition to guide your prosperity, you must learn to trust without demanding an explanation. Intuition does not argue. It does not reveal the entire map, only the next step. You must have the faith to follow that step. Hill found that the most successful people made decisions swiftly and firmly because they had learned to obey that inner voice. They did not drown themselves in excessive analysis. They acted with instinctive certainty, a certainty born of intuition. While your conscious mind hesitates, your subconscious is scanning patterns, perceiving energies, processing infinite possibilities. And when it has clarity, it sends you a signal, a gut feeling, a sudden idea, a quiet yes. If you ignore it, the voice weakens. If you follow it, the voice strengthens. This is how intuition grows, by being honored. Intuition speaks in many forms: a sensation in your body, a fleeting image, a coincidence that repeats, a gentle impulse saying do it or wait. It will not always be logical, but it will always be wise. Logic works with what is known. Intuition works with what is possible. To activate your intuitive guidance, you need 3 keys: silence, trust, and gratitude. Silence is the channel. Trust is the doorway. Gratitude is the frequency. Each night before sleep, enter silence. Release your concerns. Empty the mind. Let the mental noise drift away. When the mind becomes still, the soul begins to speak. In that quiet state, whisper, "Divine intelligence within me, show me the right path. Guide me toward the decisions that align with my purpose. Speak through my intuition and teach me to recognize your voice." Do not expect an immediate answer. Just rest. Your subconscious will receive the instruction and begin clearing the channel. During sleep, the signals will come. And in the morning, you may wake with clarity, with a direction, with an inner shift. You can feel but not explain. Sometimes intuition arrives, like a brief thought, almost imperceptible. Other times, like a powerful certainty that leaves no room for doubt. Do not confuse it. with the voice of fear. Fear shouts, intuition whispers. Fear pressures, intuition invites. Fear contracts, intuition expands. Your body knows the difference. Intuition always brings peace, even when it leads you out of your comfort zone. Hill compared the subconscious to an antenna and intuition to the signal that antenna receives from universal intelligence. The clearer the antenna, the more free it is from negative or chaotic thoughts, the stronger the signal. This is why calm and faith are essential. You cannot hear the voice of wisdom through the noise of panic. When intuition speaks, act. Do not hesitate. Do not rationalize it away. Do not delay. Every time you respond to an intuitive impulse, you strengthen the connection. Your subconscious registers that you trust it, and in return, it sends you clearer guidance. Soon, this communication becomes so constant, so natural, that you no longer need to search for answers. The answers begin searching for you. Prosperity flows toward those who follow inner guidance. Intuition always leads you to the path of least resistance. Not always the easiest, but always the most aligned, the most expansive, the most true. When you live by intuition, your decisions stop being driven by fear and start being guided by wisdom. Every human possesses intuition, but only those who honor it, turn it into power. Every time you ignore a gut feeling, a door closes. Every time you follow one, a universe opens. So remain attentive, awake, receptive. Life speaks through signs, coincidences, whispers, impulses, and if you stay conscious, you will understand its language. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, make a pact with your deep mind. Tell it that you desire a stronger intuition, that you trust its wisdom, that you are ready to listen. Repeat inwardly, "My intuition guides me with perfect timing. I listen, I trust, and I act with faith. Everything I need to know is revealed to me at the perfect moment." Then release the expectation and rest. Your subconscious will begin opening the intuitive channels during sleep. You may wake with an idea, a certainty, a phrase, a coincidence. That holds the message. Accept it, honor it, thank it. Over time, your steps will feel steadier. You will doubt less. Opportunities will appear without effort. Decisions will flow naturally, and you will realize something profound. Intuition is not a gift given to a chosen few. It is the universe speaking through you. Listening is an act of self-love. Following it is an act of faith. Living by it is the most direct road to true prosperity. Because wealth is not merely having, wealth is knowing where to go, when to move, and what to choose. That wisdom, it is not outside you. It rises from within, from the quiet, luminous voice of your intuition. Tonight, let silence speak for you. Your subconscious knows exactly what to do. Trust it, hear it, follow it, and let your intuition guide you into life that has always awaited you. Chapter 12. Money as an expression of energy. Money is not paper. It is not metal, nor ink, nor digits on a screen. Money is energy in motion, a tangible symbol of the invisible flow that runs through everything that exists. Until you understand this, you will keep chasing money, as if it were something separate from you, a stranger, a distant object, without realizing that money behaves like a mirror reflecting the energy you yourself radiate. Napoleon Hill understood that material wealth is nothing more than a visible expression of an inner state of mind. Money flows toward minds that vibrate in abundance, faith, purpose, and service, and moves away from those vibrating in fear, guilt, or scarcity. Because money, like all energy, seeks expansion, not contraction, movement, not resistance, trust, not fear. Money has no morals, no opinions, no will of its own. It is a perfect mirror. If you love it from gratitude, it multiplies. If you fear it, it withdraws. If you despise it, it avoids you. If you honor it, as a natural part of life, it becomes an ally. Many were raised to believe that money is evil, dirty, a cause of suffering. But money creates nothing by itself. It only amplifies what already exists in the one who holds it. In the hands of an ego-driven mind, it feeds greed. In the hands of a conscious heart, it becomes a tool of expansion, a bridge toward greater well-being. This is why, before attracting money, you must heal your relationship with it. You must recognize that money is neither enemy nor savior, only reflection. The energy of money is like a river. If you try to hold it with clenched fists and fear, it stagnates. If you allow it to flow with trust, it renews itself constantly. Truly prosperous people do not obsess over hoarding. They focus on circulation, on keeping the flow alive. They give, invest, create, serve. And the universe, responding to that movement, returns multiplied. What they release. Your subconscious holds deep-rooted beliefs about money. Some learned in childhood, others inherited, others carved by painful experiences. While those beliefs remain unchanged, the flow cannot open fully. You can work harder, push more, do more. But if your inner mind associates money with danger, loss, or guilt, it will subtly sabotage every attempt at abundance. The deepest work, then, is not financial. It is energetic. Prosperity begins when you cleanse the inner frequency with which you relate to money. Money is obedient energy. Like all energy, it responds to the vibration of the one who calls it. If your vibration is based in fear, I don't have enough, I can't pay, it's never enough, the money energy moves away. If your vibration is based in faith, there is always more. The universe supports me. I live surrounded by abundance. That energy moves toward you. Your financial life is a mirror of your energetic state. Hill said, "Don't chase money, chase service, and money will follow." Money follows value, not desperation. It doesn't come because you want it badly. It comes because you become a clear channel through which it can move freely. The real question is not how do I get more money, but how can I express more energy, more creativity, more value, more love? Money is the consequence of that expansion. Every time you create something that genuinely improves another's life, when you support, teach, inspire, solve, or serve, you raise your vibration. And because money is an energy of exchange, it naturally gravitates toward that vibration. You cannot attract what you refuse to express. That is why the key to wealth is not in wanting more, but in becoming more. Money reaches you through people, ideas, and circumstances, but its origin lies beyond all of them. It arises from the universal energy that responds to your inner state. Do not fear losing money. Nothing that belongs to you by vibration can be taken from you. If it leaves, it will return in another form, because the true source remains intact within you. Your subconscious needs a new script about money. You must teach it that money is natural, that its flow is constant, that you deserve to receive it without guilt, and that its presence does not contradict your spirituality. Abundance is not materialism. Abundance is equilibrium. Money, used consciously, is an extension of love and freedom. Each night before sleep, practice this. Close your eyes and visualize money as a river of golden light flowing toward you and through you. Feel that this energy passes through you without resistance, entering, circulating blessing. Imagine that with this golden flow, you bless everyone you touch, that every person who receives something from you also prospers. Feel the joy of sharing, multiplying, watching abundance grow for all. Then affirm inwardly, money is energy that flows freely. I am a clear, open channel for that energy. The universe provides for me, without effort, because my mind is in harmony with abundance. I receive, I give, and I receive again, in an infinite flow of prosperity. Say it with gratitude. Feel that you are already inside that stream, not as someone who begs, but as someone who participates in the dance of giving and receiving. The universe does not reward or punish, it reflects. When you vibrate in alignment with the flow of life, money approaches you in natural, elegant, and often unexpected ways. Money also obeys emotion. When you receive it with joy, it multiplies. When you spend it with gratitude, it returns. When you share it from love, it expands. But when you handle it with guilt or fear, it freezes. Every transaction, no matter how small, is an energetic conversation between you and the universe. Make each payment an affirmation of trust. There is more where this came from, and life will answer with renewed abundance. Hill observed that those who reached true prosperity were not those obsessed with accumulating money, but those who honored the value of fair exchange, those who gave more than they received, and the universe, which never tolerates a vacuum, filled that space with multiplied returns. This is the law of return. Everything you give consciously comes back to you, amplified. Your subconscious can be retrained to sustain this law, but it requires consistency. Every time you speak of money, do it with respect and gratitude. Avoid phrases of lack or fear. Talk about money as you would about a loyal friend. Do not insult it. Do not chase it desperately. Do not turn it into an idol. Simply trust its flow. Money does not come to enslave you. It comes to expand you, to give you options, freedom, tools, and the ability to serve on a larger scale. When you use it with love, it becomes an expression of divine energy. When you share it without fear, you prove that you understand its nature. Abundance is not having. Abundance is circulating. Tonight, as sleep embraces you, feel gratitude for every resource you have, for every coin, every bill, every opportunity, every door that has opened. Say inwardly, "Thank you for the money I have. Thank you for the money on its way. Thank you because I am a clean channel of prosperity. Money responds to me because I respond to the laws of the universe." Feel this truth until it turns into calm. Your subconscious will listen and begin to act accordingly. Soon you will notice how the channels of abundance open naturally, how money flows toward you with less effort and more grace simply because you now vibrate in harmony with it. In its purest essence, money is not an end, but a means to express your purpose, embody your freedom, and multiply good. Once you truly understand this, money ceases to be a burden or a source of anxiety. It becomes what it was always meant to be, an expression of universal energy in motion. Then you will discover that true wealth is not in the bills, nor in the accounts, but in your consciousness, because a mind that understands the energy of money can lose everything and still know how to create it all again. And from this night onward, you already carry that consciousness within you. Chapter 13. Gratitude and Service, the Master Keys. There are two vibrations that unlock every door in the universe. Two frequencies so pure, so elevated, that nothing can resist them. Gratitude and service. Whoever learns to live in gratitude never lacks. Whoever serves from love never stops receiving. These are the master keys of abundance, the bridge between material prosperity and spiritual richness, the current that connects the outer world with the inner source, from which all blessings rise. Napoleon Hill taught that gratitude is a form of faith, and service is faith expressed. Together, they create the most powerful force that can move a human being. the energy of conscious giving. Because in this universe nothing multiplies unless it is shared, and nothing is sustained unless it is first appreciated. Gratitude, the highest frequency of the soul. When you give thanks, you are not merely describing what you have. You are recognizing the perfection of the present moment. Gratitude is not a routine, not a polite whisper, not an intellectual exercise. It is a state of consciousness, a declaration to life. I trust you even when I do not understand your ways. Gratitude affirms that good is already on its way, even before your eyes can see it. A grateful mind never dwells in scarcity because it knows that everything necessary arrives exactly when it must. It does not cling and it does not resent. Gratitude cleans your vibration, dissolves fear, softens obstacles, and invites new blessings. It is an invisible key that opens closed doors, softens hardened hearts, and shifts the energy of entire environments. And every time you give thanks, you activate one of the most consistent laws in the universe. What you acknowledge with gratitude multiplies. When you say, "Thank you for my health," you strengthen your health. When you say, "Thank you for my prosperity," your resources expand. When you say, "Thank you for my challenges," you convert difficulty into wisdom. Gratitude turns the ordinary into the sacred. So tonight, before sleep pulls you inward, practice this sacred art. Review your day, not with criticism, but with appreciation. Give thanks for the small, the subtle, the overlooked. Your breath, your food, your lessons, your moments of connection. Every sincere thank you raises your frequency and trains your subconscious to focus on what is growing rather than what is missing. And whatever your subconscious focuses on expands. Hill taught that wealth begins in the mind that is grateful and culminates in the mind that serves. Because the grateful person recognizes their abundance, and the one who serves allows that abundance to flow outward. This is how the rhythm of life is maintained. Receive, give thanks, serve, multiply. Service, the visible face of inner abundance. Service is not slavery, it is not sacrifice, it is the purest expression of a soul that knows its own richness. To serve is not to lose, it is to expand. The one who gives from the heart does not empty. They overflow, because energy offered with love returns multiplied. In ways the rational mind could never anticipate, a prosperous mind always looks for ways to contribute. It does not ask, "What do I get from this?" but rather, "How can I add value?" And it is precisely that attitude, that inner abundance, that makes such a person unstoppable. The universe always supports those who support its expansion. Service, when given sincerely, is the most reliable investment in the spiritual economy of life. You don't need grand gestures to serve. A kind word, a listening ear, a sincere compliment, a small act of honesty can alter the entire day of another human being. Service is not measured by size, only by intention. Every good action done without expectation sends energy forward in the direction of prosperity. The universe takes note, and though the return is not always immediate, it is always inevitable. Hill observed that the most successful people were never driven solely by money. They were driven by purpose. They understood that money is simply the result of a life devoted to serving others. The one who serves joyfully never lacks, because their energy is tuned to the frequency of abundance. The one who gives without fear always receives, because they understand that giving and receiving are the same flow. Service and gratitude are two forms of active prayer. Both declare the same truth. I trust the flow. I am in harmony with life. When you serve, you become a channel. When you give thanks, you become a fountain. And in that state, nothing is missing. Make gratitude and service your nightly rituals. Before sleep, remember something you gave today, even if it was small. and give thanks for it. Give thanks that you were able to serve, that you had something to offer, your time, your presence, your kindness, your strength. Then whisper inwardly, "Thank you for all that I am and all that I have. Thank you for the chance to serve. I receive more each day because I give more each day. Abundance flows through me, and in giving I multiply." Feel these words, not as sentences, but as vibration. Feel your heart expand, your mind soften, your energy balance. Gratitude and service. Heal old wounds, dissolve resistance, and draw toward you everything that is good, pure, and essential. As you practice this state, you will notice something miraculous. Life becomes more generous with you. The right people appear, the right moments align, the right opportunities unfold, not by magic, but because you have tuned your frequency to the realm where blessings live. Life always responds to the tone you emit, and gratitude is the tone of love. The true purpose of prosperity is not accumulation. It is contribution. Money, talents, time, all of it gains meaning when used in service to something greater. And when you serve, your prosperity becomes inexhaustible. Because the universe never leaves empty. The heart, that gives from fullness. You will discover that abundance is not measured by what you possess, but by what you can offer. Without fear, true wealth is never in your hands. It is in your inner posture, your willingness to let love flow outward. Every act of service, no matter how small, is a seed of light that will return to you, multiplied. Tonight, as your eyes close and your breath softens, let your heart whisper, "Thank you for my life. Thank you for my path. Thank you for the chance to serve. Everything I give returns multiplied. I am a source of love, abundance, and purpose." Let this vibration surround you. Your subconscious will hear it and transform it into guidance, attraction, and quiet miracles. Because in the secret language of the universe, whoever gives thanks and serves has already reached the highest form of prosperity. Chapter 14. Sleep like a spiritual millionaire. Sleep is not a pause in your life. It is not the moment when nothing happens, nor an empty stretch between one day and the next. Sleep is a return to origin, a quiet descent into the workshop, where your mind renews itself, your soul recharges, and your subconscious continues the work. You began while awake. Every night when your eyes close and the world slowly fades, you cross a threshold. You leave the noise of the visible and enter the silence of the invisible, a realm where thought becomes seed, emotion becomes instruction, and belief becomes law. Napoleon Hill understood this sacred ground. He knew that sleep is fertile soil for planting ideas, desires, and convictions. While your body sleeps, your subconscious does not. It does not tire, it does not argue, it does not postpone. It obeys, it organizes, it materializes. If each night you fall asleep with thoughts of faith, gratitude, and prosperity, your inner mind will work tirelessly to convert those thoughts into form. This is how a spiritual millionaire sleeps, not with anxiety clenching the chest, not with the mind tangled in fear, but with a quiet and absolute trust in the power of their own consciousness. The spiritual millionaire does not measure wealth in numbers, but in states of the soul. They do not fall asleep fearing loss. They fall asleep giving thanks for what already is. They know their true fortune is not in their bank account, but in their vibration, their peace, their certainty, their connection to the source. These are their greatest assets. Every night as they surrender to sleep, they merge with the universal intelligence that multiplies everything aligned with love. To sleep like a spiritual millionaire is to sleep with intention. It is understanding. That rest is not the opposite of creation. It is part of creation. While you sleep, energy reorganizes, ideas ripen, solutions arrive, new paths quietly reveal themselves. Nothing is stopped. Everything is moving. Your conscious mind releases the steering wheel, and your subconscious takes command of the ship, guiding it toward the harbor. You chose before closing your eyes. That is why the moment before sleep is sacred. It is the most powerful minute of your day, because the last thought you embrace becomes the first command. Your deep mind receives. The spiritual millionaire does not fall asleep in chaos. They fall asleep in order. They do not lie down in complaint. They lie down in gratitude. They do not drift off, repeating worries like a mantra. They drift off, programming their success. This is the difference between an empty night and a creative night. The difference is intention. When you sleep with intention, your sleep becomes a living prayer. Your subconscious works as a loyal partner, reproducing the images, emotions, and affirmations you have fed it. Every night becomes an opportunity to prosper, even while your body is completely still. So make your nights a sacred ritual. Turn down the noise of the day. Dim the lights. Put the world on mute for a moment. Sit in silence, just long enough to feel yourself again. Then begin to thank. Not out of obligation, but out of recognition. Thank your body for carrying you. Thank your mind for learning and adapting. Thank your spirit for sustaining you, even when you felt tired or lost. Give thanks for visible blessings and invisible ones, for the easy moments and the difficult ones. Each sincere thank you is a vibrational adjustment, a return to your center. Then speak to your subconscious. Speak to it with respect, with gentleness, as you would to a wise friend who has always been at your side. Silently tell it, thank you for this day. Thank you for the invisible work you will do tonight. While I rest, you organize, resolve, and attract everything I need. I am at peace. I am safe. I am prospering. Do not rush these words. Let each phrase sink into you, like warm light. Your subconscious is listening. The moment it receives these instructions, it begins to act. Now, imagine your life as you desire it to be, not from the hunger of I don't have, but from the fullness of I am already living this inside. Visualize abundance, freedom, health, love, not as a distant fantasy, but as a present reality. See yourself smiling, walking through a day, filled with purpose and ease. Feel harmony, quiet confidence, relaxed joy. Stay with that image until it becomes emotion. When you feel the deep calm of someone who already has, you will know you have reached the right frequency to sleep like a spiritual millionaire. The spiritual millionaire does not sleep to escape life. They sleep to co-create with it. They understand that sleep does not disconnect them from their power. It amplifies it. So they trust the process. They trust that their mind is working. Even when their eyes are closed, they trust that the universe holds them. As they rest, this trust wraps them like a cradle of light. Hill taught that when the mind is tuned to the right thought, it becomes an irresistible force. To sleep in right thought is to sleep in faith, not in worry. It is to close your eyes, knowing that everything is in motion, everything is progressing, everything is unfolding, exactly as it should. The faith of the spiritual millionaire is not a fragile hope. It is an inner certainty. They know that while they sleep, universal laws continue weaving. Their prosperity in the unseen. They don't need to control the how or the when. They simply rest in gratitude and trust, because a peaceful mind creates more than an anxious one. So tonight, before surrendering to sleep, repeat inwardly, I am in harmony with the universe. Everything flows in my favor. Money, ideas, and opportunities come to me with ease. Every cell in my body rests in abundance. Tomorrow I will wake with a renewed mind, ready to receive more. As you repeat these words, imagine a gentle light moving through your body, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, a warm, golden energy that washes away tension, softens every muscle, and tunes your entire being. to the frequency of success. With each inhalation, feel you are drawing in abundance. With each exhalation, feel you are releasing worry. Your body surrenders, your mind quiets, your soul smiles. To sleep like a spiritual millionaire is to surrender to the perfect order of the universe. It is allowing life to work in your favor, without interference. It is knowing that everything you have asked, affirmed, imagined, and planted is germinating now in the silence of the night. And when dawn arrives, you will rise too, with a clearer mind, with fresher ideas, with a deeper sense of certainty, not just physically rested, but energetically renewed. Your vibration will be higher, your thoughts more positive, your day smoother because you slept. In the highest frequency of all, faith in action. Remember, the true millionaire is not the one who accumulates the most, but the one who can sleep in peace, knowing that nothing is missing. That is the secret of the spiritual millionaire, to rest with a quiet soul, a believing mind, and a grateful heart. And tonight, you can choose the same. Close your eyes, breathe, give thanks, and let abundance rock you gently in its holy silence. Chapter 15. The new dawn wakes with a rich mind. Dawn arrives. Soft light slips into your room, as if the universe itself were whispering, "Begin again." Every sunrise is a blank page, a sacred invitation, a reminder that everything, absolutely everything, can be reborn. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what lacked, what hurt, what felt impossible. A new day begins, and with it, you begin again. Because the mind that sleeps in faith awakens in power. During the night, your subconscious worked silently, shaping, sorting, weaving. It took your affirmations of abundance, your visions of prosperity, your thoughts of faith, and began stitching them into the invisible fabric of reality. While you slept, the universe moved in your favor. And now, as you open your eyes, you step into the first fruit of that invisible labor. You are different. Your mind is no longer vibrating in lack, but in possibility. Your heart no longer beats with fear, but with purpose. Your energy no longer looks outward for power. It recognizes that the power now rises from within. You have awakened with a rich mind, a mind aware of its creative authority. Napoleon Hill taught that success is not born from blind effort, but from focused thought and elevated emotion. And you, who have learned to plant every night in the fertile soil of the subconscious, know now that wealth never begins with a paycheck. It begins with an idea, and not just any idea, but an idea believed, felt, and held with conviction. Your mind, disciplined by faith, has begun producing tangible results. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are its author. The new dawn does more than illuminate the world. It illuminates your consciousness. It reminds you that prosperity is not a destination. It is a state of harmony with life, of openness to what flows, of gratitude for what already is. To awaken with a rich mind is to open your eyes knowing that even if the final form has not yet appeared, the result is already planted, and the seed is already growing. Take a deep breath. Feel life move through you. That breath is pure abundance. It arrives without strain, without fear, without limit. Just as the breath flows freely, so does prosperity flow toward you. You belong to a perfect system, a universe where nothing is scarce and everything multiplies when used with love. A rich mind is not measured by what it possesses, but by the capacity to recognize value in all things. It sees abundance where others see scarcity. It finds opportunities where others see barriers. It knows that life is always conspiring in its favor, even when the path has not yet revealed itself. That is the difference between someone who chases wealth and someone who already vibrates in it. The first lives in anxiety. The second lives in certainty. Every morning is a conversation between you and the universe, and the first words you speak are the seed of your day. That's why the spiritual millionaire begins his morning with gratitude and affirmation. Before your feet touch the floor, declare, "Thank you for this new day. Thank you for the energy that lives in me. Thank you because everything I desire is already on its way. My mind is rich. My heart is abundant. My life is full of purpose." Said with emotion, these words reprogram your vibration. Your subconscious receives them as a fresh instruction and aligns your thoughts and actions to match that frequency. And then, almost effortlessly, life begins responding with synchronicities, encounters, and opportunities, because every day carries an invisible harvest from what you planted the night before. A rich mind does not worry. It plans with faith. It does not fear the future. It designs it. It does not run from problems. It turns them into stepping stones. And when doubt appears, because it always will, breathe and remember, everything is happening for me, not against me. This affirmation dissolves fear and restores calm. As you move through your day, carry the consciousness of prosperity, as if it were a small flame glowing in your chest. This flame does not require effort to burn, only awareness to keep it alive. Care for it, with thoughts of gratitude, with elevated words, with conscious actions. Let every decision you take today be an extension of the faith you planted last night. Let every gesture, every step, every glance reflect the certainty that you are already abundant. The rich mind lives in the present. It knows the past cannot limit it, and the future cannot frighten it. It lives here, in this breath, this moment, this now, the only place where creation truly happens. The new dawn is always this instant, this heartbeat, this inhale. Hill taught that positive thinking without action is incomplete. So today, act, but not from urgency, from inspiration. Let intuition lead, not fear. Do what you must, with joy, with presence, with peace, and watch the universe. Respond with mathematical precision. Being a spiritual millionaire means living from inner abundance, regardless of external conditions. True security does not come from the bank. It comes from your connection to the source. True freedom does not come from having more, but from trusting more. True prosperity is not something you chase. It is something you express. This new dawn is not just a symbol of a day. It is a symbol of your consciousness. You have awakened from the illusion of lack. You have remembered that you are a creator. You have realized that the universe does not exist outside you, but within you, responding to every vibration you emit. From today forward, walk with that certainty. Every person you meet, every thought you think, every word you speak is a seed, and what you plant. With intention, life will return to you, multiplied. That is the nature of eternal law. That is the movement of a rich mind, creating, expanding, sharing. Tonight, when you return to rest, you will remember that the cycle continues. Sleep to create, wake to manifest. This is the dance of the prosperous soul, the rhythm between giving and receiving, imagining and realizing, thanking and expanding. And now, as you stand before this new dawn, affirm with a steady, radiant voice, "I am the source of my prosperity. My mind is rich, my heart is generous, my spirit is free. Everything I need seeks me, finds me, and multiplies through me. I walk in peace, I live in abundance, I sleep in faith, I awaken in power." Feel these words. Brand themselves into you like a seal of light. You are no longer learning prosperity. You have become it. You are no longer searching for wealth. You are emanating it. You no longer wait for miracles. You are the miracle. This dawn belongs to you. Go into the world with your head lifted and your heart open. You are free. You are abundant. You are limitless. And as you walk forward, remember, prosperity is not a destination. It is a state that awakens with you every morning.